Awesome college algebra people. This is the second solving systems. This is by substitution. So if you already know how to do substitution, that's fine. On the test, I don't care which method you use, whatever floats your boat. So I'm just going to show them all to you so that you can figure out for yourself. Okay, so solving by substitution. So the first thing we have to do is solve one equation for one of the variables. So I took the first equation in that list, 2x plus y equals 4, because when I subtract 2x from both sides, I already have y equals, so I don't have to work too hard. All right, so then, since I used the first equation to solve for y, I have to plug this y, this negative 2x plus 4, into the y of the other equation. Okay, so that's why this says, notice the original equation was 3x minus y equals 5. So I substituted the y for the minus 2x plus 4. This right here. Bam. Put that in there. Now I have to be careful because when I have parentheses, always use parentheses, especially if there's something in front, like this minus sign is in front. I want to make sure I distribute the minus sign. So I get 3x plus 2x minus 4 equals 5, and then I solve for x, and I get x equals 1.8. If you watched the first video, that should not surprise you because it's the same example that I used when I solved by graphing using my calculator. So I am not finished though, because remember I'm looking for a point. So I need an x value and a y value. So once you get a value, substitute it back into either equation. It makes no difference. I actually used this that I'm circling here because it was already y equals. So y equals negative 2 times 1.8 plus 4, or 0.4. So my final answer is a point. So I write it as a point, 1.8 comma 0.4. Make sure you put the x first and the y second. Okay, so now I have an example that I didn't already do for you. I hope I do it correctly. Having kind of a lousy day. All right, I'm going to take this first equation and solve for x this time because x has no coefficient. So I'll subtract 2y from both sides, so I get minus 2y equals 1. So now I'm going to take this x thing and put it into the second equation here where x is. So that means I have negative 2y. Oops, why do I have equals equals? I don't know. Some days are like that. Plus 1, I think it's supposed to be, right? Yeah. So plus 1, and then my plus 4y equals 3. Now, I don't have a number in front of the parentheses. There's nothing there, so I don't really need the parentheses. Negative 2y plus 1 plus 4y equals 3. Combine my like terms, and subtract 1. So I get 2y equals 2. Divide by 2, y equals 1. Once I know the value for y, I can go back and solve for x. So I'm going to use this mess right here. X equals negative 2y plus 1. So x equals negative 2 times 1 plus 1. So x equals negative 1, right? Yeah, negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Now make sure you put them in the right order, x comma y. So it's going to be negative 1 comma 1. That's my answer.